did just beat Rumble using Renekton. If you want to play it yourself, don't give him the same chance.
And
beat you with.
CJ enters Frost thinking along exactly the same line, saying, well, if he's banned Renekton, maybe he wants to pick Rumble, so let's ban Rumble out. Thresh has been locked in. Big smiles there for the Millennium players. I'm very happy to see that because we know how good Fat Mama can play it. Immediately, once again, Clan Templar is locking in that Shen. Most likely going to be in the jungle, but they have the ability to swap it around if they want to. Put Millie's mid, maybe, but for the time being, that actually looks like the respective players will be playing their champions.
Yeah, quite likely Clan Templar on Shen. Solid performance every time it comes out. Terrifying to come up against it. And it worked very well for them in the last game. So, what are Millennium going to do this differently? Their old comp, the last comp, didn't deal very well at all with split pushing. We saw that, we explained why. Couldn't get the engages, couldn't get the fights, and he just could take tower after tower after tower. Gonna have to do something a little bit different again. And as we mentioned before, Fat Mama now on that Thresh was very aggressive. He initiated, he got those fights started in the previous games, in those group stages. If he can do that again, this might change the pace of the game. They had a very strong early game. They took that early lead. This time around, they need to act on it and keep going with it. And they've locked in a Tryndamere.
Probably not an AP Tryndamere. Wait, which patch are we on? 3.02.
It is still a very strong AP Tryndamere patch.
Okay, now this happened last weekend, all right? Super Week, NA, I think we've seen 2 or 3 Tryndameres. We've actually seen Tryndamere being banned out during the EU LCS, and you know, it is the patch before the nerfs to his heals. So AP Tryndamere, the split-pushing monster, is a real possibility. If they want to put the split-pushing Tryndamere against the split-pushing Shen, that's going to be a very interesting matchup and a very interesting fight, because I think they'll be relatively evenly matched in the mid-game, and it's just going to depend on whoever can get those big items first to help themselves through it. This is, of course, us assuming it's going to be AP. We need to see where they're going to put him and which lane they want to do it. Fnatic actually were training Xpeke on AP Trynd mid lane. So, interesting, but Woong, he has taken Twitch. We were talking about Twitch earlier in the day. It's a champion that's very powerful, very strong, and it has been favored by the Korean team so far.
Yeah, Raven running it multiple times on SKT1 and running alongside that Lulu too. So that is that bottom lane that they like to use, and we've seen how powerful that can be in the early levels, landing slow from Twitch, landing slow from Lulu, getting a first blood on Woong nonetheless at level 1. So we'll have to see exactly what Kraton decides to do to play differently. Kraton now picking up that Varus this time around instead of the Misfortune from before, and honestly, I kind of feel that's a little bit more his style. I mean, before he played the Incredible Vayne, he got more a couple of times like those hyper carries, but Misfortune is just more of a caster-based thing. It's get strong, a couple of auto attacks, then use your ultimates and use your double ups. Not quite so much like your Ashes and your Caitlyn and your Varus. And they just go and throw that out completely by picking Ezreal. Now, Ezreal AP mid, something Peke tried. Varus also has some AP ratios that you could try on there. Tryndamere most likely going to be in the top lane, and Antefresh going to take Lee Sin in the jungle here.
Take a look at the faces of CJ Enters Frost. They're even sitting going, is this happening? Like, this is something that's completely thrown out the window. If it is going to be AP Ezreal, you mentioned Peke tried it, and let's be very honest, he was incredibly successful with it. He landed every single skill shot. The amount of burst damage that comes down, especially now if you build Mirror Mana with Lich Bane and it applies the on-hit effect from your Mystic Shot, it's a big chunk of physical damage, all of the different modifiers and everything. It's a very, very hard-hitting ability on, what, a 3-second cooldown at max rank with, you know, CDR, etc. So it's a powerful combination. The Tryndamere and the Lee Sin is going to be interesting to see where they put them. Most likely, like you said, you know, Tryndamere probably top lane, Lee Sin in the jungle. And it's Lee Sin in the jungle. It's something we haven't seen. It's something Diamond Prox hasn't even run. And you have to feel if Lee was still viable and powerful enough.
Diamond Prox still gets a Lee Sin ban pulled sometimes. That's still there. Lee Sin, he's not underpowered anymore. He's not got worse. It's simply the fact that the game's changed around it.
Yeah, correct.
He's still a very strong early game champion. He still falls off late as he always has done before, but he's a very situational champ now. And the way comps and the way teams are playing at the moment, and the early dives and the bottom lanes, top lanes, those kind of 3-minute things, the lane swaps, he doesn't really lend himself to it. But Millennium are in no means running a standard comp. Could be tabs of Kraton sitting on those AD carries. They could still switch it. I kind of prefer the idea of Thresh and Varus together. There's more CC in that. They can grab that hook, land it in, then you've got the slows and you've got the CC, you've got a lot of burst damage and very strong early game from Varus, more so perhaps than Ezreal. But Ezreal is also a lot safer against the massive slow combo coming out of Lulu and Twitch. So we'll see whether they stick with that. Angus Tryndamere versus Elise? Not sure.
All right, well, the players are ready. We're ready. I'm so excited to see how this game plays out. Another double AD carry game. Our casters for this one, again, Lee, Demon Smith, and Joe Miller. Take it away, boys.
So here we go then, game number 2 between CJ Enters Frost and Millennium. Frost having a 1-0 lead.
But how are they going to deal with this? AP Tryndamere, double AD as well, and we just checked out Tabs' runes. It is going to be AD in that mid lane. So let's see how this one works out. They, of course, had a great start against Frost in the last match, but they couldn't close out the game. They were 3-0 up. They had around about 2,000 or 3,000 gold lead at one point. They had the 3-0 turret advantage. But again, get to late game, they couldn't handle it. So if you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, CJ Enters Frost are 1-0 up in this best of 3 quarterfinals. Millennium have it all to do. You see Civ HD in the background as well, giving them some wise words, maybe telling them to get some spears, I'm not too sure, or maybe run and hecker him in that jungle. He's done many videos, so as it is, maybe he's been behind. Hey, Angus, AP Tryndamere, sounds like a good idea. Why not? Let's go for it. So let's see what they do work out as. Millennium, of course, as the blue team, going to be playing from bottom to top, and in the top line, it will be CJ Enters Frost as the red team. Will they engage at the start? They're all pretty close to one another, and immediately CJ Enters Frost, you see them stood on top of that ward that Fat Mama's placed out. Fat Mama's going to be aware that they have just passed by, making sure they keep the wards and track their movements.
So we saw this from them in game number 1. They went complete ring around the enemy jungle when they were on the blue side. This time around again, just getting those wards in there. The pink ward put down by the blue. The question is, will they stay now using that pink ward? They know that Millennium are going to have no vision of it. This should be taken away by them.
Mad Life having fun on Lulu, I think it's safe to say. But he's just, there's a little bit of baiting back and forward. Doing the taunts, actually. I think I heard Clan Templar doing Shens as well.
His timing's perfect as well. So he stopped talking. Oh, not that time around. Oh, I'm so fresh. Yeah, gets the Q in there. That's going to give them that vision. Angus has already spotted them coming in there as well, so he's going to pull off. Actually, the hook going to land here onto Woong. He's going to have to flash away. Angus going very, very low. Cloud Templar going low as well, but Angus going to go down. It's first blood to Lulu. I'm so fresh going through, though. Varus going in there. Shai is going to die. Woong is going to get himself a kill, but what a crazy start to this. Currently a 2 for 2. Well, that may be more, yeah. There's the Blind Binding coming in and the E from Varus. Not quite, but the hook onto Rapid Star. Fat Mama's got plenty of health here, but he knows that he's going to have a light binding to deal with soon. Doesn't chase in. 2 for 2 after 2 minutes. All the 2s.
Let's take stock of what just happened. We see Creaton. He is on Ezreal, and he is 2-0 after that start. So that's a great start from him. Cloud Templar going a lot of help from Mad Life here, taking down that red buff. Woo! Mad Life timing it just to perfection there, making sure he doesn't steal it away. We also saw kills. You can see Woong on the rat. He managed to pick up a kill. Mad Life got himself a kill, but everybody getting the assists across the board as well. So crazy action start there. Now Angus, he's going to be double laning as this AP Tryndamere. You can see immediately they're going to keep him at bay before he can get too strong. And Woong does keep the pressure down on him. But we're going to see Tabs on Varus versus Lux in this mid lane. Has Rapid Star come up against the Varus in the past? I don't know. Has he come up against AD carries? It's kind of going back to the old Season 1 days with AD carries in mid.
Yeah, always interesting to see. Obviously, Millennium, as we said earlier, did run that double range AD comp in their win against Fnatic earlier on. As Tab's going to take a combo there coming out of Lux. Actually, will not pull that one down at this point. Answer Fresh doing the blue buff off, and he will, in fact, just picking that one up there with his smite.
Stealing it away, and so we'll see whether they manage to make that count. And of course, you know, interesting to see Lee Sin in that jungle, because if the king himself, Diamond Prox, doesn't play Lee Sin, you got to wonder, is it still strong? I'm So Fresh, of course, was a great Lee Sin play. He was the instrumental man behind that 18.5-minute win over SK Gaming. It was Lee Sin that he played in that game. Bottom lane pressure pretty strong here, and we're going to see I'm So Fresh with the double buff coming down towards Shai. Shai still only level 2, repels in towards I'm So Fresh. Can he get the other side of him? He's just going to force him away here, and actually a bit of damage going back towards I'm So Fresh as well. Shields away, and Creaton continues to really bully out this bottom lane.
Yeah, looking for early tower damage here, which is exactly what they've done in this top lane. Angus is very, very low already. Obviously, high pressure lane for him. He does have that built-in heal, though, so he should be pretty solid in that side. Obviously, did start with that Fortitude pot actually already used it up there as well. Varus in the middle, not used his as of this point just yet, though.
Total counter jungling from both of these. You can see Cloud Templar now going in towards the blue buff of Millennium. As it is, we've seen pretty much I'm So Fresh living in that top lane, and now he's going to come back around the backside of Shy once again. He's taken away the wolves, and another repel from Shy. This time you can see I'm So Fresh keeping the pressure down. He has got that red buff on, but the cocoon lands, and it keeps him at bay. But this is just buying all the time required for this bottom lane to really pressure on that bottom turret. I think they want to get Angush back into a solo lane as quick as possible.
Yeah, certainly that's the way that they're playing this one, and they've done a great job of it so far. Lee Sin just going to move in there as well, and they can take this turret down with this wave, focusing first of all on getting the minions down. But that turret is going to be falling here soon, as Angush actually getting chased down by Madlife and Woong. Will he be able to get away from this one? There's the X-Punch. Not doing too much damage, but you know, that poison's always a factor. Just when you think, oh, I got away from that one safely, you end up going down to it anyway.
Doing a fantastic job at zoning Shy completely out here. Still only at level 2. Meanwhile, Angush is already at 4, and of course, he will gain a chunk of experience now that they are going to back off, but that's really kept him well out of the picture there. In terms of CS, he's going to gain that up shortly, because we do see Fat Mama and Creaton going back to buy. So Creaton 35 CS, 2-0 up. What's he going to buy? Vampiric Scepter and Berserker Greaves, just as Cloud Templar comes Shadow dashing on Angush. He's already gone back.
And that was close, though. Angush just a split second later, and he would have actually ended up getting taunted in and probably dying with all 3 men there from Frost coming in onto him. But we have 700 gold lead. Obviously, that turret going down. 2 kills for Ezreal. He's a good 400-500 gold ahead now as well. So he's in a great position to say 400-500 in the loosest terms, meaning more like 400 and definitely not 500, if I could count. But Millennium again, just going straight for that tower pressure.
Yeah, they're keeping the pressure in that mid lane. Cloud Templar coming back there, and you see Tabs. Is he going to get Lee Sin? It's the classic thing. You put the Q, you land it, and you're like, I've got to go in. I've got to follow it up. I've got to do it. I've got to go in there. So Fat Mama in this top lane now. They're going to keep pressure on towards Woong on that rat. If he lands the hook on Woong, then it's really going to be devastating. I'm So Fresh is doing a fantastic job of counter jungling here. He's been living in Cloud Templar's bushes the whole time, and he's now back around that red buff. We are at the 6.5 minute mark. He's going to try and get them golems across their Madlife. Warding out the tri-bush will spot him straight away, so they're aware that he is in that jungle. And Fat Mama, though, with a pink ward, clears it straight out. He's going to keep giving a little bit of paranoia to that top lane.
Yeah, I think he saw the Q coming through there. That's how he first knew that I'm So Fresh was around that side. Puts the ward down. That was cleared out by the pink ward, but he put a second one over the top of the wall there just to make sure he would have that. This
is the difference. Shy just got left alone in that bottom lane. He went from 2 to 5, and he's actually a level ahead now. Madlife getting hooked in there, but the pressure still not coming out from Creaton. Whimsy back down on him, but as I was about to say, he's actually managed to gain experience on Angush. They're both at level 5 now, but you saw that Shy was at level 5 before Angush got in there, so immediately he's claimed, obviously, those waves he's been clearing all on his own as he got left to just farm to his own devices in that bottom lane for about 2 to 3 waves.
Yeah, right now, Trinimir got 3 points in his spinning slash. 1 is W, 1 is Q, just to keep people informed on that. Something that we probably should focus on a little bit more when we're seeing a bit different of picks to usual. In this top lane, Madlife just coming back in and around. Obviously, Creaton also has Fat Mama there. And these hooks we've seen so often from Thresh, how game changing. I mean, it's very Blitzcrank-esque, obviously, those hooks, but they can be game changing. You can win and lose games just by how those hooks go down.
Well, if they can land it onto a Woong, it would be devastating, because obviously we're going to try and pin him down. Whimsy back on towards Angush, and they're going to keep the pressure down on him here. We're trying to put a lot of damage, and honestly, you can see Creaton below half health there. A good exchange from Frost there, keeping the pressure on him. But the mid lane, how is this going to tell? How is this going to work out? Of course, we know that, Lux, if she lands a combo, a rapid start, they can just pop someone 100-0 as they manage to build the damage up. But the tower pressure that's going to come out from Millennium here will be incredible. Here's Angush coming around. He's trying to keep I'm So Fresh away. I'm So Fresh does pick it up, but he gets Cocoon there. But they are going to back away from this one, so Millennium managed to successfully get in and take away the blue buff. Will they be able to keep their own?
Yeah, and we do have Lux now at level 7, so we're going to be seeing some lasers coming out here shortly once things really get rolling. Angush just coming up on towards his top lane. Going to have a go in at Shy, and Angush will put level 6 now, which makes those dives and what have you so much more possible coming out of this bottom lane. Shy needs to be careful there.
Creaton's going to get caught again there by that poison, but does put straight away Mystic shot back onto Woong. The hook just coming past, whistling past his tail. Not quite catching on. Tabs, he's doing a good job at keeping that pressure in the mid lane, but I'm So Fresh has been the one that's been impressing me so far. You can see he's just been around that jungle the whole time. Cloud Templar is heading up towards the north. He's going to come across. That blue buff will be spawning shortly, but as they're going towards that blue buff, you can see they're backing towards that middle, and they're keeping the pressure on the turrets. But there's the blue buff spawn. There's Cloud Templar going to steal it back away.
Yeah, nice play out of Frost. No, there's his downers in this bottom lane. We are going to see the repel. Angus actually taking the turret hits there. Does have his ultimate running, so will stay safe for that one. But again, that's the danger of going in onto at least one repel. Can be sometimes enough for you to take one more or two more tower hits than you were expecting.
The turret, they're going to try and get the steal with the laser. It's going to be too late though. Rapid Star's going to come around, and he's hoping that Tabs would go that route, but instead Tabs wisely as the safe route, and you can see it was all about that ward spotting him out there. I'm So Fresh just checking it to see if he was in that bush, but he does manage to get the blue. So that was a successful steal, and they held their own one. The ward, the hook coming out. Shadow Dash is going to go towards Fat Man, but he lashes him away and then flashes out of the Shadow Dash. Nicely played there, avoiding all the damage, and Cloud Templar Stand United is going to be down for a while.
But can they hold on to this turret afterwards here? Not sure that Frost really have the damage in there to finish that one off. Lee Sin is back in right now, and I couldn't well imagine going to visit straight up to this top lane to make sure that that will end up staying safe. So that was actually Fat Mama in the top. Yep, getting low there. We heard the low health ping. And they're coming in onto this turret. Lee Sin actually headed towards the bottom lane. AD carry and support are heading back. So Frost are going to put out a massive amount of damage on this turret. May even just have it away with this wave.
Yeah, they're going to take the turret here. I don't think there's going to be any question on that one. So, first turret of the game for Frost. Millennium, of course, taking that bottom turret much earlier on. So, how do we fare across the board? You can see the BF Sword, Black Cleaver, Bloodthirster almost completed for Creaton as his first item. Woong will be doing exactly the same as he backs away. In the mid lane, Tabs, of course, running Varus in that mid, and possibly a dragon coming out here. And really, I don't think Frost are going to be able to react to this at all. I don't think they even realize it's happening. Millennium quick on this dragon, or say quick. They're 11.5 minutes in, so it's not so fast.
Yeah, not the fastest you've ever seen, but either way, a good secure there for Millennium. That's going to bring them right back into a 1,000 gold lead, which is exactly where they need to be. I mean, let's not forget Millennium in that last game had a perfect start. They were taking towers down earlier. As you see the damage coming out of Shy there on towards Angus. I don't think he quite expected so much to come into him.
Yeah, he managed to just get a good Q combo there. Has got the Haunting guys on, but of course, Angus himself will be a fearsome beast. The question is, can Shy try and keep up that damage and defend him and try and prevent him from split push? And he's keeping on him and keeping him pressure down. Angus has to get them last hits in, of course, to try and get that damage done, trying to get that health regen back on there. As it stands, Tabs in this mid lane has got Fat Mama just lingering off the side. Maybe we're going to try and throw a hook if Rapid Star was to step the wrong direction, but since he doesn't have any ward coverage down there, he's not going to be fooled. He's not going to step near that bush.
Yeah, Tab's got that Blade of the Ruin King already in there and finishes the binding. Does land onto him, but he's a little bit too far away for anything to come in. There's a laser flashing through, but this is going to be turret number 2 coming out of Millennium. I'm So Fresh again, moving up into the jungle. That's something that he's done so well so far this game. Shy in the bottom lane as well could be in trouble.
Keeping the pressure on, you can see he's got a full charge, so he can just completely heal himself up, which is why he's having to back away from this one. I'm So Fresh now on another invade into Cloud Templar's jungle. He's been all over it so far. Has managed to land the Q and does go in for it. Cloud Templar has to Shadow Dash away, but you see the binding comes down. Is it going to be enough for Line Body? But the ultimate comes out from Fat Mama, catches Cloud Templar completely where he stands. Shadow Dash had already been used. A great kill there, and Fat Mama the instrument of the destruction.
Really nicely done once again, and that puts them in the kill lead, and it's 3-0 now, Creaton, which is completely the opposite of what we saw from him in his Fortune as Angush and Shy going to go head-to-head. Will Shy be able to pull this one up? He's going to repel at a perfect time, coming in from the backside, and he gets it. Brilliant from Shy.
See, if it had spun towards him then, I think the spinning slash would have killed Shy in itself. Definitely. I think it would have been enough, but instead, I think he was expecting him to go to that minion across there. Can he get him? True shot barrage, and he's going to whistle past, and that was pure warning. You could see the pings already coming out from Frost there saying, it is coming your way, get the hell out of there. And they managed to dodge it. 3-3 in kills, and the gold advantage still with Millennium. Of course, they did get that dragon. They have got the tower advantage. Blue buff going across to Rapid Start. I think it's his first of the game.
Yeah, it lasered it away then. Didn't want to even risk it being stolen away from that Varus Q or what have you. So that's a nice pickup for Rapid Start, obviously. going to be helping him out. They got the Seekers on guard in their Chalice. Amptone, what other items have we got coming out? Trinimir with the Stinger being picked up. Both AD carriers have, well, pretty much identical build at this stage. BF Sword, Berserker Greaves, Vamp Scepter, Single Doran's Blade. We just have a pink ward there being taken by Twitch. There is an Oracle as well, we should mention, being picked up by Lulu. 14 minutes in, a little bit earlier than what we've been seeing generally.
And I'll tell you what, I'm So Fresh is continuing to impress me. The fact that everybody says Lee Sin is no good in jungle right now. He is doing a brilliant job of just chasing Cloud Templar around that jungle, taking away every little item he can. Angus didn't fancy going one-on-one with Shy this time around and just backs away, which it actually may be a telling sign. Does this mean he doesn't want to solo that lane now? I'm So Fresh caught out a little bit by Woong there. Mad Life getting that Whimsy down on towards him. Has got a 4-man stack from Millennium in this mid lane. And then split lane, you know what? It's quite clever play because Millennium are going to be doing a lot of 4v4 fights. There's going to be a lot of split pushing coming out from Anguish, which is quite wise because they've got those 2 AD carries. That split push will be very quick, very strong. If they could just get a little glimpse at them turrets, they're going to do a heck of a lot of damage to them.
Yeah, but that's also kind of fine from Frost's side of things. You know, they got Shen. Again, we saw it in their last game, how well they managed that whole situation of he's pushing bottom lane, let's go into top lane and into middle lane. They had to really stretch themselves thin, Millennium, in that last matchup. And we'll see exactly how that works out for them as we move forward in this one. But 15, almost 16 minutes into the game, we don't have too much of a goal difference. Is Shy going to get pinned down? I'm So Fresh going to be the first man to come around. Shy says, well, I actually fancy my chances with this one. He actually sees there the Tryndamere coming in. He repels just in time for Shen to come around. There's the laser snipe coming out of Rapid Star. There's a cocoon landing onto Anguish as well. He will pop his ultimate, but he's not going to escape this one. Mad Life coming around the side. He spins to the back. Woong gets the kill, which is even better probably in the grand scheme of things of how it's gone down. There is the box. Polymorph will land. Is Templar going to go down in there? No, he's not. In the meantime, though, middle lane being pushed, but nothing to follow it up.
Nothing to follow it up, but Tabs, like, while that was all happening, did get a good half damage done to the inner turret, but they did lose 2 members. Fires out that ultimate onto Rapid Star. Not too sure, just simply escalating, helping his escape. He's going to slow down Shy as well and pokes it out. Shy flashing out of that. I'm not too sure he was going to quite do much. He's going to try and repel. He's got that ward down, but he spots Kraton as well. I don't think he's going to follow this one through, although is he? Rapid Star has that final spark back available again. They are going to go up the river and they're just going to force them away. It's a double AD pairing. They have a lot of damage if they can catch onto someone, but Shy is just going to defend out that turret. They're going to keep the poke on, but he's going to hold it off.
Oh, there's the Q actually landing on towards Rapid Star. Light Binding will land as well, but Rapid Star could be in trouble here. I'm So Fresh getting on the front side of him, but decides not to follow up wisely enough. The Rat was sniffing around there, trying to get in on the action. Actually going to put a ward down right on top of the pink, and he says thank you very much. But Millennium take down their 3rd and final outer turret.
That was a full hit point turret they managed to get in and take down, so that's the difference to get those 2 AD carries back on there. Of course, that's the old days Season 1 style. But as it stands, we are here in Season 3 at the Intel Extreme Masters World Championships, and sure enough, double AD carries seems to be back in the cards, back in contention. And if Millennium pick up a victory here, of all people against CJ Enters Frost, it would be a great turnaround. And now Shy doesn't realize he's got I'm So Fresh there as well. Kraton tries to repel away, tries to turn the aggression on towards Kraton, make it enough, but no, I'm So Fresh takes him down.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate for Shy at the same time, getting caught out as Anguish going in here on towards Rapid Star. Lulu coming around the side. Can they force Anguish away from this one? Maybe with the presence of Cloud Templar, they will manage to feed him off, but Kraton is still pushing this top lane.
This is almost, you know, like the style of Giants, you know, keeping the chaos going. It seems to work very well for them. Dragonborns will be proud of this setup, maybe even taking notes, who knows. But Lee Sin is going to be able to just surely go to Kraton. Is Kraton not getting close enough for him there? Why did he not safeguard to Kraton? Was Kraton just keeping out of range there? I'm not too sure.
Probably scumbag. Yeah, he was too far away from him, that's for sure. But maybe Kraton could have, you know, helped out a little bit, and then Arcane shifted away again if he was that worried about it, as we are going to see.
Trying to get the
True
steal.
Shot Barrage come over, yeah, not quite enough damage to get them the steal. So let's have a look again at where we are in this game. Turret advantage really helping out for Millennium. They are currently 3,200 gold in the lead, behind on kills, but ahead with the turrets at 3-1.
And ahead on goal, more importantly, because we should point out, obviously, while that was happening in the top lane, we did see Tabs taking away that dragon with the help of Angus. So they have managed to pick up another dragon, Millennium, 3-2 in turrets. They have that 2,000 gold advantage. Similar position to the last game. There's an invisible blue in there somewhere, trust me. You can see they're taking it away. That's going to be given across again to Rapid Star. It is in there, it's in that bush. Trust me, Rapid Star knows exactly where it is. Has managed to pick it up eventually. He's still not took it. There we go, finally. He didn't have any mana, so he's like, what am I going to do? I'm just going to slow poke it down. So what are we looking at? Items. Blade of the Rune King was completed very early on from Tabs. You can see it looks like he's building up possibly Infinity Edge, or maybe going to go Phantom Dance. I'm not too sure what he's going to push towards on Tabs, but who knows? He's running an AD carry in the mid lane, so he could be going for anything. Does take away that red buff. That's going to help him out a lot. You can see Wound with the red buff of his own. And looks like CJ's Frost going to try and maybe put some pressure on the mid lane.
What is the next move from them here? As you said, mid lane is being pressured. Shen actually down on the bottom lane. That's just slowed down by Angus. So they're pretty much going to beat on each other. Unless Tryndamere really goes all in there, Shen should be pretty safe in that respect. But we've still got Creighton pushing this top lane, something that he's done so well up until now. It's
a double split push, and it's working very well for Millennium. As mentioned, they're keeping the chaos going, and honestly, he's going to get this turret before Shy be able to react to that. The minions themselves are going to do it. Angus keeping the pressure on towards Cloud Templar. Now that means it's a 3v3 in that mid lane. Who's going to be the stronger of the two? Who knows? But it doesn't matter because the turret goes down. Angus now diving on towards Cloud Templar, keeping him busy, and then just spins away and heals himself up as soon as he spots that Mad Life is coming across.
So Phantom Dancer added to the bloodthirsty here for Creighton. As we said, he's done a brilliant job of adding to that split pushing power that they've gone for. He's 3-0-1 as well, which certainly doesn't hinder the amount of items that he's going to go. He's got 18 CS lead coming in over Twitch in the mid lane. Varus hanging around about a 50 CS lead over Lux. Tryndamere also is a good 10-15 ahead as well. So generally, Millennium have got it all in their hands again.
Yeah, and you can just see from the goal the advantages. The top laners actually are very close. In fact, Mama, they're avoiding, or I don't say avoiding, taking full on in the face a final spark from Rapid Star, but does survive it out there. The gold, as I mentioned, you can see it's around about 1,000 gold across the board between the two AD carries of Millennium rather than the AP mid of Rapid Star. Angus continuing to keep being a nuisance in that top lane. Mad Life isn't just in the bush. I think he saw him coming in there. Throws that chicken down on towards Cloud Templar to keep it there. Might spin on towards Rapid Star. Rapid Star has to be careful. Angus could put a lot of damage out on him. You can see the Whimsy. Instead, he's just going to flash away. Not going to get baited in this one. Realizes there's 4 members of Frost all moving towards him. And now I'm So Fresh. His turn to just farm out that top lane.
Farming it out. You're going to be pushing it forward. They have to react to that one. It's a bit of a taste of your own medicine from that last game because Shen was superbly instrumental in how they managed to finish off that game in the end. But you could never count Frost out in this one. It was shown in that last game. Even when Millennium carved themselves the lead, they didn't quite have what it took to take down the Koreans going into the final stages of it. I'm just wondering if that's going to be the case here again. For Millennium's sake and for our sake as spectators, I hope not, because it could mean a third game.
Can Shy keep up with Angus? Angus is just baiting it and spinning away, happy to go back to his own turret and keep it out, because he's just continuing to farm and just going to get stronger and stronger. And meanwhile, Shy, you can see he's trying to put the damage down, but slowly but surely that mana of his is grinding down. He's trying to get the last hit on towards Angus there, throws a couple of his spiders in towards the turret, but Angus is just going to heal himself up. He's on that turret, no problem. He's not in any worry against Shy here. And actually, Shy needs to be more careful because he could be dragging some members of Millennium down, and that's exactly what they're doing. I'm So Fresh comes down, and now he's a long way away from any turrets, but immediate ping. Woong and Mad Life were also showing their presence. They're going to try and chase out Rapid Star. Rapid Star forced away. Angus once again on towards Shy, keeping the pressure on. Can they manage to maneuver anything? Here comes in the mid lane. Tabs is going to get caught. The final spark does go down. Woong's going to get dropped very low, but he survives, and that's going to be 1 kill, 2 kills. It's actually Rapid Star that picks up the second, and that was a great bit of baiting, but Shy in trouble down in this bottom lane. Shy will go down, but it's going to be the middle turret gain for CJ Enters Frost. What is happening meanwhile elsewhere? Creighton actually just clearing out the bottom lane. The top lane, he's not even backing away. They could push through mid.
Yeah, they certainly could.
Pushing top.
Oh yeah, they are.
Bottom
They've
row.
got 2 men in there. Bottom, top, the top side of the bottom. Either way, that's where they are. And we saw there the 2 of them trying to get these towers back, but they might end up losing the inner turret on this middle lane. Lux just coming over to try and stop that inner turret in the bottom going down. Doesn't work for them, and Frost are still going through here. They've got no minions, but that turret is going to be theirs, and that brings us back to a, well, I say brings us back, it's still a 2-turret lead for Millennium. The problem is that Angush is still hammering away there in that bottom lane. Finally, Frost going to back off, but 20 seconds until the Dragon comes up. Millennium obviously got that timer down on this one, and Frost need to get straight back in there and put the pressure, otherwise they're going to lose another Dragon.
I don't understand why Creaton didn't come back, whether he just felt he maybe couldn't clear that out. A true shot barrage could have certainly done enough to maybe give them doubt into pushing on towards that turret, but the fact that they did keep on there, so they've just simply trading out an inner for an inner. They did lose 2 members, of course, as well, which Frost will be happy with, and that's the problem. Woong, he can come round. If you get caught by that light binding, you are dead, and that's simply what happened in that mid lane. There was no escape for Tabs.
Well, during that little push there on that bottom side, we actually saw Ghost being used by Angush to get up to his turret faster or something similar to that. I'm not really sure what was going through his mind. As Millennium here are going to be going in for Dragon. They're going to take that one as well. We're going to see the fight kick off. Cloud Templar actually getting in there. Goes straight between the 2 of them. The binding going to land onto I'm So Fresh at the back. They take down Thresh first of all. Can they get any more? Varus ultimate going to lock up Cloud Templar at first. Flashes coming in there, and Frost start to back away. 1-0 for the Koreans, but Millennium crucially picked up the Dragon.
They did. They gained the advantage and wisely disengaged their Millennium, so immediately taking another 4,000 gold lead it is now. 9-5 down in kills, but they are 5-3 up in turrets, and that is just how it works. Those AD carries double split pushing, it seems to be. Top lane's going to push itself. You can see how Templar already having to go up to deal with that one. Shai's going to push that bottom turret, but immediately Angush is already en route there to try and cover that bottom turret off. Woong going to be picking up the red buff. Looks like the blue buff also up. I'm So Fresh heading in towards that one. Whether he's going to gift it across to Creaton this time, looks like it will be. So Ezreal will be taking that one. Let's have a look across the builds. Runic Bulwark's getting slowly but surely built up by I'm So Fresh. You see the needlessly dodge now on Angush, so he's going to get a rather large power spike, so not too sure whether Shai's going to be able to deal with him. Shai himself has got that Rider's Crystal along with that Haunting Guys he had a while ago, and the classic split push, Shen, Sunfire Cape, Giant's Warmog on the way. Giant's Warmog, maybe it might be a Giant Warmog, who knows, but he's slowly but surely building that one up. Fat Mama, he's kind of got himself caught out of position a few times here, but look at the AD carries of Millennium. Tabs, Infinity Edge, Blade of the Rune King, very strong in the damage department. Creaton, Bloodthirster, Phantom Dance, the Last Whisper. Down the bottom, we are going to look down there. It's actually Angus on towards Shai.
Yeah, Shai here in a lot of trouble, but here comes the Stand United. There's a laser over the back as well. Can Shai escape from this one? And a spin comes in. But Temper is there. Can they lock him down? The Twitch is coming in from behind. He spins out once again, and CJ Frost back away.
And while that all happened, we also saw that Madlife got caught out, and now you can see Millennium turning straight towards the Baron here. There's 2 members down the bottom. They've been completely pulled out of position. It's going to be Rapid Start. Is he going to have Final Spark available? Baron already down to half health, throws that Luminescence out. Can he try and proc it off at the right time? He does manage to cast a light behind him, and it is going to be the Baron for Millennium. Now they turn aggressive on towards Rapid Star. Creaton goes towards him. Rapid Star has to flash away. While this is all happening, the bottom lane, we can see Angush. He's almost in the base now. He's going to continue on towards that inhibitor turret.
Yeah, his Ghost going to be up here in just a second as well, so he can be moving around very, very quickly should he be called in for that one. But now AP Tryndamere are still brilliant at taking down everything, really, as they are going to finally push in. He goes in towards Woong. There's the taunt coming down. He's got no ulti, of course, after that last battle, and they are going to take it. But at the same time, Frost losing their inner turret in that middle lane.
AP Ezreal, it's drawing the attention of Frost away from these lanes, and Millennium are ready and waiting to just take every advantage from it. We've already seen the Baron picked up. Baron is lost from Angush now. That's not the end of the story, because they did take down that major turret in that mid lane, which does mean they have a big gold differential right now. 6,000 gold, 6-3 in turrets. Millennium taking the game to Frost right now as we approach the 30-minute mark.
And this is exactly what we hoped to see, wasn't it? After that first game win by Frost, they could have sealed this one with a 2-0, moved in towards the semi-finals, but that's not what we want. We want all 3 games here in our first quarter-final in both, if we can manage that one, please, teams. But Millennium, they weren't bad in game number 1. In fact, they had a lead at the start, but it wasn't quite to be in the end. This time around, they've got a lead again. Still, it's not a massive lead, and we've seen bigger turnarounds in the past.
We have seen bigger turnarounds in the past, and you know what? I've been really impressed with how Angush has dealt with Shy, because I've been singing the praises of Shy for the last year, I think, maybe, but really he's kept him. I mean, you can see 1-4-4 and 1-4-2. The scores aren't dazzling, but the fact is that Shy has been having problems with this AP Tryndamere. Maybe it's just a simple case of AP Tryndamere is OP. He did, of course, get a rather large balance in the last patch.
Yeah.
We are, of course, on 3.02 here, not 3.03. Yeah.
A lot of pro players were commenting on how strong AP Tryndamere is, and considering how much talk there was, we've not seen that much of him, though.
Now, Voyboy kind of highlighted it in the North American LCS just to simply say, in fact, the reason he stated he played it is because he wanted it nerfing. It's just, but it was already happening. Nevertheless, Millennium are pressuring on towards the turrets. Of course, they do have the Baron, and they are creating that split once again. The hook coming out from Fat Mama. If that would have landed, someone would have died, but they're not to be.
Yeah, they've got 3 men pushing, 2 AD carries, and with that hook in there, that's what makes it so dangerous. There's a laser gonna come flying through from this one. Shy is gonna get hooked in here, but can they finish off? No, backed away. But Angush, in the meantime, is still pushing. He doesn't even care that Shen's there. He's got his ultimate available, and he's just gonna build himself up to get a big heal off, and then be like, well, I'm kind of healthy again. There you see, almost full again. That is how good AP Tryndamere is in this patch. But still, Millennium push in this top lane. Yeah.
Turret is going to go down here. There's nothing they can do about it. And that's the second inhibitor turret of the game. Millennium pick up. Now they're on towards the inhibitor. Bottom inhibitor also being pressured by Angush. And CJF's Frost are really up against it. You can see Angush just working it over slowly but surely. Cloud Templar doing as much as he can. Does manage to get the Shadow Dash. The Cocoon outcome from Shy. He's just going to pop that ultimate and spin away. Kratos, meanwhile, has taken down the top inhibitor, drawing those 2 members away. Has caused all sorts of problems for Frost here, and that is going to be Mad Life going down. Woong stealths up just at the right time to avoid the damage. He's going to go back in for this one, but is that the right decision to make? I'm not too sure. You can see there, Rapid Charge will catch on towards Fat Mama. Shy's the one that picks up the kill. Now they're chasing on towards Kratos. The Cocoon from Shy catches on towards and Kratos taking very low. Millennium are going to have to evacuate and get away from this one. The Baron buff is about to wear off as well. Shy continuing to chase on towards him here. It's going to be Kratos that's in trouble. Flashes out of the Cocoon now and continues to bait it down. Woong on towards I'm So Fresh. I'm So Fresh maybe be able to turn this one back around. Instead, he may well slow him down enough. No! He goes to another ward. Kratos on Shy in the top lane. Shy picks up the kill and gets the shutdown.
Yeah, Twitch not quite able to finish off there on I'm So Fresh. He was very, very low in the end, but crucially stayed alive. And here we see once again the danger that Frost still posed them. I mean, that Tryndamere obviously took, I think, 3 of them in the end to really deal with him at the bottom, but they can deal with him if they get their priorities right in who they're going to have to be going for. The problem that they have here, that obviously that double AD carry that they've got coming in here, I mean, there's a Phantom Dance, a Bloodthirst, the Last Whisper, Giant Spelt now being picked up by Ezreal, then on the other side, Blade of the Ruin King, Zeal, Infinity Edge, and that Giant Spell again coming out for Varus, and just between them, they're able to do so much damage to these turrets per wave.
Well, with one inhibitor down and another one exposed, Frost are up against it, and they're going to have an impressive comeback here. They've just taken away the Dragon to try and pull some of that gold back. It's still 6,000 gold. That's not unsurmountable, though. It is possible. We see True Shot Barrage, that's rattling up towards the top wave. That's going to keep those minions, super minions, I might add, going in towards that top, which means you can see Millennium position themselves. They want to charge straight up that mid lane. Can they catch anyone out? Rapid Star does throw out the Luminescence to try and slow them down. The Light Binding goes down as well. I'm So Fresh doing whatever he can to get in towards it in that game. We see Angush, he's returned to that bottom lane. He's continuing to farm it out. He's continuing to pressure towards that exposed inhibitor. And Frost, I think, are going to have to put up with a fight here without the turret.
Yeah, this is a dangerous time for Frost if they want to turn this game around. It's probably going to be within the next couple of minutes. Angush and I'm So Fresh
Shy
pushing in on towards Shy. He's going to repel. Actually comes in behind them. Cloud Templar coming in from the side, but Shy is surely not going to escape this one. No, Wild Growth comes in. That will keep him alive for now. But can they get any more from this? Angush going to take a lot of damage. There's the laser. His ultimate being popped. Varus going to put his ulti in there. Angush doing a lot of damage, and look at the heal he gets there straight away afterwards. And that is the ridiculous that is AP Tryndamere right now. We've got super minions coming into the top side here, on towards that first Nexus turret. It's taken a little bit of a chink so far. Not really life-threatening damage, I guess we can call it, up until now. But Millennium just showing their power. Frost hanging on by a thread.
They are hanging on, but they are doing a good job at defending there. Anger's forced to use that ultimate. Hasn't got it available. If they can catch on to him now, they may try and create something from it. But as it is, really good wild growth coming out from Mad Life there to keep Shy just alive. As you called it, he's dead, but no. The wild growth came in and helped him out. Now Templar does still have that Stand United available. Baron will be up in 2 seconds' time. And Millennium in position to try and start this one out. And again, while they do this, you see Angush is going to continue pressuring that bottom lane. It's going to be a 4-on-4 at Baron.
4-on-4. Rapid Star has the final spark available. He's got the vision here into the back of the Baron pit. And he's timed it wrong there.
He got a kill, though.
Yeah, he got a kill. He picked off Thresh at the backside, which is like, oh, well, that's just a bonus. I suppose Angus is going to die this time around, or is he? Again, he spins away, and he always catches me off guard how ridiculous that heal is.
That heal is pretty huge. He has got the Rabadon's Death Cap, but we do see CJ enters Frost going to try and push down that mid wave. True Shot Barrage will get fired off, and actually catching all 4 members there straight through the mid lane. There is another huge creep wave of super minions going along that top, so Shy's going to have to back off and deal with those, but he is going to be able to clear them out pretty quickly. Angush, meanwhile, looking to try and create problems, is actually doing a great job at avoiding the wards as well that Frost had down, and Frost just unsure of this one. They don't even feel that they can press back, and Shy's just called them back. They're all going back to base.
Yeah, all going to have to run back and defend this one between them. And Shy going to be the one first. So we see here Angus just roaming around in the Frost jungle. If he catches anyone out, they're basically dead here. I mean, there's not really 2 questions about that one, especially when he's got that Baron buff on him and running. Question is, how are Frost going to hold on to this one right now? They're hanging on with 1 inhibitor turret. But you've got to feel that that's not going to be lasting too long either. Inhibitor will be respawning now. As I say that, Angus is already there, and he is going to get caught out here. Does have his ultimate available. No ghost for him, though. There's a wild growth going to pop Angus up. The laser coming in there. Maybe should have saved that for after it. He's going to go away. Can they get the finisher? Yes, they can. Rapid Star is going to take down Angus, and that may be the opening here. Frost may look to change this around. Fat Mama taking a lot of damage. Shen going to come in. Tap's going to get caught out. He is dead. They didn't take down the inhibitor either, and they're going to follow in. Spray and pray coming out from the rat. Shy dives in onto Fat Mama. He is slowed, but it's not enough to keep him alive. Ezreal will dive over the top, and that is a brilliant turnaround from Frost.
That was a Baron up team, remember. Millennium not quite in the right position. Simply a case of Angus caught out in that top lane, trying to do what he's been doing so well throughout. But I'm So Fresh thinks he's ex-Peke. He's going to go and backdoor in towards that top inhibitor. As it is going to leave his entire base exposed. We're close to the 40-minute mark. Frost could just run straight through it. There's a 27 timer. They're going to get straight on, and it is going to be a least, like you mentioned. He can't take him on. And Shy with the super minions might be enough. Yeah. It's going to go on towards it. Meanwhile, Frost are taking the inhibitor themselves. The turret will go down any second now. You can see they're on towards it. As it is, Kraton's doing whatever he can to try and keep them away. Final Spark's going to completely wipe out the wave, and there is Frost taking their first inhibitor of the game. I'm So Fresh has managed to deal with Shy there. Those super minions helping him out wonderfully, and he's going to get the inhibitor. So that's 2 inhibitors down. He's continuing on to the Nexus to it. Millennium are going to keep Frost at bay. They're just doing whatever they can to stop them backing up here. Kraton tries to flash around here and just causing all sorts of problems. Shy, meanwhile, in the base, I'm So Fresh is running around. He's going to go towards that bottom turret. Millennium trying to stop them going back. Angus trying to get a kill on there. Zhonya's hourglass comes down, but Wound's going to spin. Oh, he spins away, but he's caught out with the poison. But you see, Mama chasing on. Final Spark comes out. That misses out there. And I'm So Fresh now comes back around. He cuts on towards Rapid Star. Mad Life caught out now. He's going to flash away, and he should manage to avoid the damage. Crazy action here between the 2 teams. Millennium and Frost putting on a show.
Now it's 4 versus 4. Shy just trying to push the waves back. Woong is running into the base. The rat is going for it. He's going to do it. Is he going to do it though? That's the question. I'm So Fresh is going in there. They are backing off here, but how much time is he going to have to be able to do this one? He's tanking the turret up. He's not got the damage to pull that one off. But Millennium have been stopped. They've not been allowed to come back. Only Varus managed to escape. Are they going to get in and cause some more problems problems for Millennium. There's the Shirelia's popped. Fat Mama saying, guys, we can't have any of this.
We've got to get out of here. The Rat's going to back away, so Woong has managed to get away from that one. The minions not quite enough, and the fact that he was coming up against double super minions was a problem for him. Obviously, they are too tanky. He did manage to wipe them out with that spray and pray, but unfortunately, he didn't have any minions left himself, so he's backed off. So, wild game. Looking like the Dragon's going to get picked up for Frost. That is obviously up. Baron will be back in around about 2 to 3 minutes' time. This is going to take the gold to just around about 2,000 between them. Very close right now. And I still couldn't call this one. Millennium have a clear advantage. They're 8-4 up in turrets with 2 inhibitors down. Those inhibitors will be respawning in around about a minute's time. So this is still a close game.
Oh, Trinamir is coming in for blue. They need to secure that one. And Angush may actually just go down here. Gonna pop his Zhonya's there. He does have his ultimate available. Wild Growth comes down, but he's not gonna die.
Oh,
is he gonna die? He's still alive. Actually goes down finally to Cloud Templar.
Oh, that could be a mistake. He's got a 60-second death timer now. And, well, Frost are going to turn
once again. What he was doing there.
They're going to push straight down the middle, but they've got to send someone back. Shy has to go back, or Rapid Star, because there's super minions going in towards their base right now. I'm So Fresh is again in the red buff area of Frost's jungle, and he could continue on towards that top lane. As it is, Frost are going to go down the bottom, playing it clever. They're not going for glory. They're just going to go down and take that bottom turret.
Going by the book here. Well, Millennium, they've got 30 seconds until that Tryndamere comes up, and still I'm not sure what Angus was trying to achieve with all that one. Ends up dying in the end. This is going to be the outer turret in that bottom lane going down here. Cloud Templar quite happy and able to tank that one up, but Millennium are starting to push up once again. We're on board with Creighton, who's going to throw that True Shot barrage down in towards the bottom lane, and goal!
It's a field goal. Straight through the middle. So can 3 members of Frost defend out this wave push from Millennium? Yes, they can. No problem about that one. 1 minute before the Baron is back available. And Millennium now going to start to ward out that position, try and clear out, try and keep some dominance on the map, because it is starting to slip away from them. They have, of course, got that Oracle. You just saw Fat Mama starting to clear out the wards there. But Shy is doing a fantastic job. Every time he's been the man that's gone back and just protected those Nexus turrets. They have managed to keep hold of them. They've managed to keep hold of that turret in the mid lane. And the inhibitors will be up, I think, just around the time that the Baron spawns.
And look at that Thorn Mail picked up for Cloud Templar. Against those double AD carries, was there ever a more perfect item to add in towards that one? I don't think so. That's a really big pick up that could actually end up changing how this game goes around. Shy is going to get a lot of damage coming in onto him, but crucially not taken down. No hook landed on that one in the bottom lane. Actually, Angush is pressuring down on towards Cloud Templar. He's had to use his heal, and to be honest, Cloud Templar is not really taking much damage from him whatsoever. He's just more concerned about getting rid of those super minions. As the cocoon is going to land. Angush does have his ultimate available. He's going to use that Zhonya's. He's going to ulti afterwards, or is he? He's just used his heal there. He's probably going to need to with that poison ticking him down. But either way, he's backed away and he's still alive. Baron being started off by Creaton. I'm So Fresh and Tab's going to join in with that one. Can they get across this time and manage some kind of laser snipe? We've got them all coming in. Tryndamere is still on this backside. Woong is going to look to take him down from this one. Spray and pray goes in. Baron has been taken down there.
Oh, he's got him.
Angush, is he going to go down?
No.
Woong going very low. Angush picks it up. It was Baron taken by Millennium, by the way, in all that. And this is going to be the inhibitor going down. Cloud Templar going to get hooked up.
He's going in. You can see they're going to try on towards him. Fat Mama's keeping him at bay, but it doesn't matter because it's the bottom lane. Angus continuing through. Final Spark does manage to catch on. Angus finally goes down to Shy. Will that be enough to save the Rapid Star? Was caught out. Fat Mama, oh, the flash comes out there. They are desperately hanging on. The super minions are beating down the Nexus turrets. The inhibitor's going to go in the top lane. Super minions now coming through the bottom lane as well. They're going to start pushing in. Just one inhibitor. That's gone down. The turret finally is there. And that's going to be the 3rd inhibitor. Oh, the arcane shift. Just coming out at the right time to avoid that cocoon. So close. But they are going to surely get the 3rd inhibitor of the game. Millennium with that Baron buff. Oh, it's a brilliant catch there from Cloud Templar. And Rapid Star just deletes Creaton from the map there. I'm So Fresh goes down. The hook comes out from Fat Mama, trying to keep him at bay. He goes down. And would you believe it, with the Baron on, the Millennium have just been wiped out. They've got to have someone defending their base. Woong is going to spawn. He's going to do that job. And now Madlife, you can see, leading the charge. They need to get back on towards that inhibitor of Millennium.
They've got 14 seconds for Angush. The rest of them are all around 40 seconds here. I'm not sure that they're going to come back in time to stop this happening. Woong is in the top lane here, just trying to get rid of those super minions. Can Frost turn this one now on its head? They still need to be careful of Angush. He obviously has that ultimate available as soon as he comes into the fight. Frost take out the inhibitor again, and are going to back off.
So, wow. Crazy action, but Frost managed to hold on. If they'd have lost that final inhibitor, they would have had the double super minions coming at them. They would have been in desperate, desperate trouble. As it is, they may be able to defend this one out here, despite the fact they have no inhibitor turrets remaining. They've still got those 2 Nexus turrets up. It is not without doubt that a very, very close game, though. Millennium really putting on the pressure, but the goal is slowly but surely getting much closer once again. 67.5 thousand to 66,000, and you can see between the teams now it is very close. Shy has kept up with Angush every step of the way. The AD carries, Woong and Kraton very much even. The AP and AD carriers, I should say, the 2 mid laners, Tabs and Rapid Star, still very close in gold. Just 200 gold, that's nothing when you're talking it's 15,000. So as it stands, the teams in one fight, it's still all about who gets the engagement.
Yeah, and that's a worrying thing at this point for Millennium. If you look at the kill score, 23 to 10, yes, some of those have been, picks off here and there, but that just shows how strong they are still at fighting right now. So still very dangerous times for Millennium. This game going to be stretched out a little bit longer as both teams looking for that perfect start to a team fight. Tab's obviously the only one left with that Baron buff on. It was picked up before. They're taking away the entire jungle here of Frost. What are Frost going to do to reply? They're just pushing back as hard as they can, trying to get those lanes cleared up. And Millennium are going to be trying to get back in for those inhibitors. Or that inhibitor that's respawned, I should say.
Frost have the waves cleared, no problem at the moment, and Millennium have to try and create an opportunity, try and create some split. It was Angus that was doing it before, but I'm not sure he's quite got the capabilities to do it anymore, because Shy is strong. Angus caught out there, half his hit points wiped off straight away, and that's going to force him back away. Has got nothing to regenerate his health either. He needs to get in on towards those minions, and that's going to cause a problem. You can see Cloud Templar also causing problems for I'm So Fresh. CJ enters Frost, have a good defensive position here. Fat Mama with that Oracle, clearing out Mad Life with his own Oracle, keeping the wards, everyone at bay. They have to defend this middle inhibitor, and you can see slowly but sure they're going to try and get on towards it. There's Angus back on towards Rapid Star. It's going to be Shen that's going to come in there. Shy's caught out, has the Zonya's Hourglass, can repel, does repel just at the right time, but it's going to be the middle inhibitor going down. Kraton's going to be the target, but Frost are led scurrying away here. Now that Shy is having to get away from this one. Cloud Templar, he can't get close, he gets hooked in. The final spark comes across though, and it's Twitch that gets the kill. Cloud Templar goes down. Kraton now caught out there. Shy puts the poison down on him. Shy has to repel again. He's going to chase on towards him. Mad Life going to chase on. Mad Life got out of position. Rapid Star comes back around, tries to catch him on towards there. Shield is not going to be enough, and now Tabs turns it around. Shy gets the cocoon down. Here comes Woong. He gets a double. Can he get on towards I'm So Fresh? He gets the slow down. The ward is there. Oh, the night binding lands. He's going to get on towards him. It's the ace, but they have to get back and defend the base again. Would you believe it? It's a 5 for 2, but again, their Nexus turrets are in trouble. They're going to get respawns. They're going to get back there. Shy again is going back. Joe, I'm losing my voice.
Don't, Demon. We're only what, 2 games in. You can't lose it just yet, but well, it'd be a good one to lose it with, that's for sure. This is absolutely off the hook. 200 gold separating them 47 minutes into this game. And Woong there at the end, cleaning up with the rat. He moves up to 9-2-8 now. Shy doing this job with Rapid Star of holding those super minions off. Woong, to be honest, he's not going to be able to get through and really pick anything up after that. So he's going to take away the jungle. Baron is coming up in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Both Barons up until now have gone over to Millennium. But where's the finisher going to come from? We've seen again that Frost can win these team fights, and that's the problem that they've got here, Millennium. They need to somehow kill everything before they die in the fight. It's a weird position that they're in.
And we saw the other day, Frost, I think it was Frost, I'm pretty sure it may have been Shy against Evo Geniuses, repelled 3 times out of a crescendo, and I can't remember what else it was coming at him, but there, we saw it twice. He repelled just as he was about to die. First time he's on his Hourglass, then he repelled from the true shot, which probably would have finished him because he was right at the front of it, which means you get that initial impact hit for the 500 plus damage or whatever it is that comes out from Kraton. I don't know what it'd be up to now with all that AD damage he's got. But he would have been killed, but instead he held on, and he was sort of drawing their focus effectively. As it stands though, Baron up in 40 seconds time. Dragon is up. Really, all the inhibitors, tell a lie, not all the inhibitors, both middle inhibitors down for both teams, but the top and bottom are now up for Frost. We do see Anguish again causing problems in that bottom lane, but I feel that Cloud Templar now, the fact that he has that Warmugs, that Thorn Mail, the Warden Mail, the Sunfire Cape, the Bloodthirster, is able to completely deal with him off the side. It seems that Shy's the one that gets caught out. Not too sure whether he's quite got the ability to keep him up. I'm So Fresh is keeping the pressure on there, and they're just going to try and buy the time to see whether they can, of course, 3-man that Baron. They can just send in Tabs, Creaton, and Fat Mama while the other teams keep pushing.
Yep, they're heading straight in. They're going to start that one off. Are Frost going to try to react to this one? Anguish has been forced away on that bottom side. Madlife here is going to be taking a look. That Baron is already very low. Here comes the laser. Oh, he was so close, but they've got it. They are going to see Madlife getting caught. Here comes Rapid Start through, but he doesn't have the laser to follow on. Madlife will speed himself away. Anguish getting caught by Woong in the middle, but Woong is going to get slowed. This could be disastrous. In comes Shen. There's the Varus ultimate. True Shot Barrage comes across. Cloud Templar getting in there as well, as Anguish goes very low, but his ultimate's running. Fat Mama going to go down there. Anguish is surely going to die as well. That is 4 kills. And there's the laser. It's an ace for Frost. They're going to win the game. My God.
What a game. CJ enters Frost. Look like they may well have done it. They're going to rush straight down. The inhibitors just respawn, but they're going to have enough. They've managed to clear them out. It's a 50-second death timer. And Frost, from what? God knows how long down, with 2 inhibitors gone, they're going to come straight up the midline. Templar is strong enough. He can tank out both turrets. They're going to get on towards them. With Woong available, they should take these turrets down in no time at all. And CJ